we're going to make some sausage rolls because that's this week's challenge. We already made yesterday Bedfordshire clanger and Cornish pasty yesterday. I've got this cookery book out here. Might show you some pictures in there. Loads of puff pastry. This one here, this is the sort of ones I use at college. I think I got 120 of these this year. I made an egg custard tart and I sent it off with some pictures, and I won 20 of those. They're £32 each normally. I've given a few away already to school. One to a year 11 girl that has helped me 9 times, and I've also given some others away. So I'm going to roll it out, roll it, spin it. I'm going to roll this bit about A4. So the year 8s normally make this, and the year 10s make this. The year 10s have to make it a bit harder because they make the pastry and they make the sausage meat and freeze it. They make the puff pastry and make it into 3 things. They make sausage rolls, anything sweet they like, and then Cornish pasties. So I need a knife. So I need it, this is easily enough here. You don't have to cut it yet actually, but try and make it rectangle if you can. Now if it's not quite rectangle, you can push it with your rolling pin so it's the exact shape. So now we get the sausages. So there's a quick trick with sausages here that most people don't know. So we've got 8 sausages here. Now you can use any type of sausages you like. Obviously the better the sausages, the better the sausage rolls. But I've made them with cheap ones many a time, and they normally, so I'm going to do 2 to 3 sausages. So I'm going to also make some Scotch eggs and cook some sausage normal. So with this, rather than push them out the end, there's a little trick with this. And also I do it on here so I don't get the sausage on the table. So go like this with all 3. I think I'm going to do 3 sausages like this. Then just lift them up. And then you get rid of the skins. Obviously you can use sausage meat, but they don't sell much of that except Christmas time. Now you can do this with flour, a little bit of flour, so you get a little bit of flour on here, and I roll it straight on here normally. So I'm going to pretend I have to make this length because that's what the pupils will have to do. So they normally get 3 sausages and a piece of pastry this big. So you could have one like that. Then you get and you can do this one as well. But you can have them as thick as you like, but it's just to show you how to do it. Then with the egg, we get the egg wash. And they can also make some, the vegetarians can make cheese and onion ones. I want to make some cheese and onion ones as well. If I was making it for vegetarians, I would have made them first so I don't contaminate the rest, but I'm only doing it to show you. So push this round here. There's 2 ways to doing this. Roll it round like so, and then cut it. And then with the back of the knife, and then egg wash it before you cut it. But I'm going to show you a different way here. These are going to be in like a flap method, I call this, and I'm going to do this with a fork in a minute. Cut it along like so, and I've got a little bit left here. I'm going to make 2 things out of this. I was going to make something called parmez, but I'm going to run out of pastry. Now I'm going to get a fork. This is more of an old-fashioned way of doing it, but you can do it this way if you want, any way. You can put anything in it as well, some extra stuff with the sausage, pickled cheese, onion, chives. I normally pattern the bottom with the back of the knife. Always brush it before you cut it, makes it a lot easier. I've lined my tray with silicone paper, makes it a bit quicker. These go in the oven till they're golden brown. So I've got some cinnamon sugar, that was to make some parmez. I'm doing 2 just natural sausages. And I'm also going to do these through because I'm making Scotch eggs. So these are all going to go in the oven. So I'm just going to cut these. You can either cut them big or small, so they're quite big ones obviously, but you can do some small ones. So I'm just going to show you some different sizes. You can do anything you like. In here, they're going straight in the oven. Then I've got the puff pastry. I'm going to make just common cheese ones, just 1 cheese one actually with a part of this here, just to show you can make cheese and onion ones. So I've got a little same again. I've only got a little bit, maybe it should be a bit fatter than this, but I think it's just going to be enough if I'm lucky. Maybe I should have rolled it out a bit more, too late now. A little bit of onion. As you can see, I've not quite made it made in all that would be okay though, just to show you that you can. So the vegetarians, if you're a vegetarian, you don't have to use sausage meat. Cheese and onion ones are good, or you can put in something else in it. I've had vegans make them before with mashed up chickpeas. And now I'm going to make a thing called an Eccles cake. Normally you would roll this round, so I'm going to fold it up. A little bit of flour in my flour shaker. I only bought that yesterday or recently because I bought that one. So cut it roughly round, doesn't have to be exactly round. Then in it has 3 main ingredients. Some sort of dried fruit. It can have mixed peeling as well if you've got any of that. A little bit of butter, sugar. It should be demerara, but I've just put normal sugar in. A little bit of mixed spice as well. You can brush it with water or egg just to help it stick here. I'm going to use the rest of that to make my Scotch eggs in a minute. So that goes on there. Push it down, push a few holes in. You can egg wash it or with water and sprinkle it with a bit of sugar as well. So I've got a bit of cinnamon sugar here. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that, save me getting the actual other one out. So this can go on a piece of paper. This will stick in the oven otherwise. I've got one little bit of paper there, don't need much paper for this. Get it out of the tray. Come in here. I don't need a big one for this. They just go in there. So we've got an Eccles cake, and I'm also going to do Parmers, which are really good. Maybe I'll show you a picture in here of Parmers if there's one in here. There was one, I saw it just now. So my cameraman's turning it over. Oh, there's some Eccles cakes there. They're cream horns. Coming like apple turnovers. The apple turnovers and jam puffs are well-known ones. They just go in the oven. Next thing, Scotch eggs. So move that to one side. Scotch eggs, hopefully I've boiled these enough. You can have them a bit soft. I've had pupils. The reason I'm making this today with it, which is a bit of an unusual combination, the pupils normally make the sausages and then they freeze some. And then when they make the sausage rolls, that's too easy for my year 10, so I don't like to make it too easy for them. I make them make a Scotch egg as well, because then in the lesson they're learning how to use the deep fryer and they're learning how to egg wash a breadcrumb panning, which is a different skill, which they have actually done before because they've coated chicken in it, but it's just an extra thing. And even peeling an egg, most of them haven't peeled an egg, and as you can see, I've peeled them quite easily there. What you can do as well, if you want to, if you're not sure if they've got any eggshells still on them, you can run them under the cold water. That's what chefs quite often do when they're doing 20 or 30 of them. And then they make sure they've got no peel on them. Then the next thing we do is the sausage meat. Now this isn't a bit unusual. Now I think I've got a pot of water here on purpose. Rather than put your hand in flour, I've got water so the sausage meat doesn't stick to me. So now I've got 3 sausages here. Normally I would say you need 2 sausages per egg, but I'm going to try it with 1.5. If it doesn't work, I'm going to do something else. So I'll do 1 and then I'll do something else with it. So I see it should do 1.5, but normally we used to do these with the year 8s. We don't do them at the moment, but I do them with the year 10s the same day as the sausage rolls, but they're going to be missing out on that. That's one reason why I'm doing these for the competition, because some pupils at my school are doing it voluntary, but my year 10s, that's going to be their sort of home learning they're going to have to do, is make the sausage rolls, as long as they can source the ingredients. So that's only 1.5 sausages, so normally you need a bit more than that. Put it around here, you need to make sure you seal it up. So once it comes round, that's why you can't do it, better to do this with water than flour, otherwise it doesn't seal. So you have to seal it so you can't see any of the egg. These will be far better than the ones you buy in the shop. The ones in the shop always taste very dry, nowhere near as these ones. And these aren't even decent sausages. Normally the pupils, the year 10, do this with their homemade sausages, and they make all different flavours. So you get to choose in teams. We make some different ones, pork and leek, maybe we make some spicy Mexican ones, some plain ones maybe, but some different flavours. So put your hand in the water, doesn't stick to it. I always like to put it in breadcrumbs before I stick it in the egg. That helps the egg stick to it. So push it down. So 1.5, 2 would be better, to be honest. You can even make gala pie in the puff pastry. That would normally be made in hot water pastry, but you can make an egg and sausage pie in the puff pastry. Would look quite good. I've made that before at school a few times. Now we put it in the egg. We've got the breadcrumbs here. Secret when egg washing and breadcrumbing. one hand does the egging, one hand does the breadcrumbing. So this hand should stay dry and this hand's wet, and when you're doing loads of it, you don't get it all covered open in your hands. So this one can go in here. Try not to touch the wet part of it with this hand. Otherwise, then as we go, we got a Scotch egg. These must be slightly better deep fried, but I'm just going to cook them in the oven. What I might do so they don't look anemic is just with a pastry brush, just put a little bit of oil on them. If I was at school, we normally deep fry them and then just finish them off in the oven if they need to. Then they look a bit more golden brown, but obviously much more healthy if you cook them. And the sausage meat's got quite a lot of fat, whether or not it's meant. So sausage, just put these in the oven till they're golden brown, and then they're done. Thank you. So that's this week's challenge. You could do the sausage roll with the Scotch egg if you think it's a bit too easy just to make the sausage rolls. Thank you.